Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Your Friend David. I'm your host, your friend, David Keskin. I hope you've all been doing very well the last 2 weeks. I know I have as well. I didn't quite get my hands on that camera and audio equipment. I know Kenny and Zach will probably be very upset with me. I bought a 4K TV instead, so that's how my Black Friday and holiday week was. Again, I hope yours was well. And with this show, I'm able to talk about my own personal issues or anything else on my mind in hopes that it will encourage you, the viewer, to feel more comfortable doing the same as well. And this week, my topic's going to be goals. I'm going to get into that in a little bit. But first, I just want to take some time to discuss something that just happened to me today. And it's pretty upsetting. Important thing to talk about. I was working today, Lisa Hoagie House. You guys probably know that's where I work. I do some behind-the-counter work there. And I started out delivery driving today from 3 to 9. I was driving. And I was out on my first delivery today. And I was on Street in Richelieu, and there was a lot of traffic at the time. But I was in the left lane, and I waved a driver who was trying to make a left across the road. Like, I stopped to let a driver make his turn and go past me. And now where I was sitting, there's 3 lanes, and there's left lane, the center lane, and the right lane. And the right lane is a normal traffic lane up until like that point, because there was only that light in front of me was Richelieu. So it was a right turn only lane. And now my own previous experience there, like, I know how that lane is because it's just a straight shot to the turn, and there's usually not many people making that right turn. So a lot of drivers, they're just not thinking. They're just going to make their turn. They're speeding up at that lane. There's usually no one in front of them. I waved this guy on to make his turn across my lane and across the middle lane, and he had the space to do so. And then prior to the third lane, now most drivers I've seen do most drivers I see doing similar stuff to this. They usually will stop and look to make sure that no one's coming in. You know, I don't know what happened. I let this driver go. He waved and nodded at me back, so like I knew everything was cool on my end. But he was someone hit him going 40, and it was just like, having been involved in a crazy car accident like that, especially like that high speed, it's one thing to be involved in it and be in it. Everything really slows down and you feel it all, you take it all in. But just to be sitting in traffic and just see that happen and then have to go about my day or just continue like going out on this delivery where I was going, just knowing that like, it wasn't entirely my fault, but you know, I thought I was doing the right thing, letting him go. And you know, life happens, I guess, and that just, it was a bummer at first. I know it's not my fault. I'm not taking it so deeply, but it just still is something to think about. And you know, hopefully I prevent you from doing something similar or getting involved in something similar. But just hopefully by talking about it and discussing it and letting all you guys know that this happened to me, hopefully doing a service to the 2 people involved in it to prevent something like this happening in the future. And, you know, that's one of the goals when I set out to start this show. It was to hopefully help other people. And I think, you know, one of my goals, I think I've accomplished that goal. But now let's get into my goals that I have, that I'm going to continue setting myself in the future. So trying something new out for the remainder of 2017 and into the new year in 2018 as well is, I'm keeping down a running list of goals I want to set for myself. Because, you know, one thing I don't want is to remain stagnant, or for this show or channel to remain stagnant. And, you know, I'm comfortable doing what I'm doing right now, and that's all well and good, but I want to progress as a person and progress as a show and progress as a channel and progress with my friends to do better things, do greater things, and accomplish more. And I feel like by setting goals, I can achieve that. And so my wallet, I keep a list of some goals. I'm going to share some of those with you right now. So, you know, a couple of my goals for 2018 just so far, and that I could even start working on now. They don't have to be necessarily for 2018. You know, when you set a goal, you want to accomplish it, you should probably get started on it. You know, this is me doing some procrastinating on my end, and I could be more responsible and start committing to these now. It'll help me out in the future. But acknowledging that and even telling myself that now, I feel like is helpful. So I'm going to be getting on track with these. So let's go down the list. So save $100 a week. I've never been good with saving money, as you can tell from this $100 Monopoly board behind me, with these wrestling toys all over the place. So putting $100 a week away, I want to start saving for a car, for the equipment that I actually need to buy to invest into this channel to help it grow. Lighting, more mics, a nicer camera will go a long way. Lose at least 50 pounds. At least 50, probably more than that, but it's a start. Putting it down on paper, looking at it, it's a start, and that's important. Purchase a car, what I wanted to set out to do by saving that money. And then also, like on here, it says keeping track of my money, because I just want to, I guess, budget better. So every day I don't just have a random amount of money in my wallet, and then at the start of the day and at the end of the day, I just feel like I'm not keeping track, and I should be keeping a better track and close attention to that. Also, one of the goals on here is to start chairman of the board, which I may have mentioned a couple times on the show previously. Kenny just put his head down. He looks pretty upset that I mentioned that. Was that supposed to be like a surprise or anything? No. I know it's been talked about.
I mean, we cut the promo for it like 6
Yeah, there's some video you guys haven't seen yet. We should just put it on the end of this now, right? No, we're not going to put it on the end of this? All right. We're not putting it on the end of this. But that's probably, I want that to be the flagship show of this channel, more so than Your Friend David. I think Your Friend David is my baby, my project. And, well, I shouldn't say that because Kenny and Zach work on this as well. So, but that's important. And then stuff I don't have listed down on here, I want to start trying new things. I want to start reading more again, just to obtain knowledge. I want to be more knowledgeable, and that's in part to my friend Ant that I work with. Not the same Ant that was on the show, but my friend Ant that I work with at least. He will be on the show in the future. But he's someone who I look up to, and I take a lot from him. And he's such a knowledgeable person. He's probably one of the most smartest. He is the smartest person I know, and he's just so knowledgeable. And I want to be like that too. So even if it's just not even just taking a course at Bucks, but maybe just buying a textbook and reading through something I'm interested in, that could go a long way. So definitely reading more. I want to start creating more, not just with this channel, but for my own personal benefit. I want to start writing more, maybe learn another instrument. I played the drums. I thought about even getting a drum set to start playing again, but my love for 311, it's made me passionate about music. Maybe even learning to sing. So Alyssa, if you're watching this, I could use a vocal coach. So it would be awesome if you could teach me how to sing well, because I would love to learn. Try new things. Maybe take an acting class or an improv class or something that will give me more tools to achieve more of these goals in the future, because that's important. I want to progress, accomplish things, and this show was the first step. So the last goal I had set for myself for 2018 was to move out of my house, to move into an apartment with some friends. And while I want to achieve that goal and be more independent and live on my own, it's not that easy, considering that the house that I live in provides a space for me to record and have this YouTube channel and make this content, and it provides a space for me to amass more Monopoly boards from my collection. And in an apartment or even a house with my friends, I have a limited space, and I like it here, and my rent's pretty cheap. So I'm not looking to rush out of here, but maybe by the end of 2018, if my financial situation's a little different, it could be something actually doable. But right now it's on that list, because if I'm saving money, who knows? Anything can change by the end of 2018. And I hope you enjoyed me sharing my set of goals with you guys. Looking forward to achieving them. And with your help, I know I can do so. And now it is time for another segment on Your Friend David, we like to call Viewer Fan Mail. All right, now before we get into this, I just want to say that, Kenny, you're going to run out of, by next week, you're just not going to have anything to do. And it's just getting ridiculous. So this letter is coming from my good friend Charlie Poor, all the way from 2311 Sheffield Court. And he's got a TSM stamp. That's a really nice TSM stamp, Charlie. I like that. And what did Charlie write? Charlie wrote, how has the inflatable... Charlie, I can't even decipher your handwriting. He wrote, how has the inflatable Monopoly board been holding up? I don't know if you saw this, but 2 weeks ago after we got done filming the last episode of Your Friend David, I went Facebook Live, and my friend Charlie, who wrote this letter in, he bought me an inflatable Monopoly board. And I blew it up by mouth, even though you're not supposed to, and it took me forever to do. And it was just awful. I came down the next day and it was already deflated. So, Charlie, it wasn't holding up well at all. But prior to shooting this, I, by myself, reinflated it completely. Just no help from anyone at all. And this is actually it. This is the inflatable Monopoly board right here. And I just hope all of you really enjoyed this week's episode. If you have any other comments or feedback, please let me know in the comments below. If you have any suggestions of what I should talk about in the future or want to be a guest on the show, please feel free to reach out to me on Facebook or Twitter. And you can do that through DBW Universe's social media accounts. You can follow us at Twitter and Instagram and Facebook at DBW Universe. You can follow me personally on Twitter and Instagram at David Caskey. You can add me on Facebook at David Caskey. You can add me on Snapchat at David Caskey. But most importantly, swipe right to me on Tinder at David Caskey. And you all have a great day. And I just want to remind you all, we only have one more episode left coming in 2017. And I know it's going to be a good one. So stay tuned for that, please. I'd really appreciate it if you did that. Thank you. And yeah, have a great day. Is this your ID? Yep. Well, I found this ID in this wallet. Yep. So that must mean this is your wallet. Yep. That makes sense to me. Then take it. It's not my wallet. Ah!